girl, the Curvy City Girl, and I'm back with another video. I just thought I would come on here and bring you guys a story time because everyone keeps asking, when are you gonna do that video? When are you gonna do that video? Let me tell you. I think I'm gonna start. Okay, I got a story time for you. Alright, so I always see these like YouTubers on like TikTok and stuff from Vancouver talking about what's it like to date in Vancouver? Da 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 da. Let me tell you, dating in Vancouver is shit. It's miserable. You've seen one type of dude, you've seen them all. Whether it's the white guys, the brown guys, the Jamaicans, or the whitewashed ones, you've seen one, you've seen them all. You dated one, you dated them all. They're all just gonna take you to the same restaurant, take you to the same place. Like, it's terrible. Don't mind me hold my hand. So yeah, dating in Vancouver is shit. So let me tell you about one dating experience that I've had dating in Vancouver. Okay, so this was like maybe like I would say it was maybe like it was a good couple years ago. It was during the summertime, and I just felt like, you know, I'm gonna sign up for POF and like see what's out there, you know, see if there's like any cute guys, because I always hear these girls like, oh yeah, I met this guy, you know, he took me there, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, let me try. So I went on and made my little, you know, my little account with a little detail, all that stuff. And I matched with this one guy. Let's call him Eddie, just for the sake of it. Let's just call him Eddie. So Eddie and I matched. Eddie was a little bit younger. I want to say I was maybe like, I don't even know how old I was, but I know he was younger than me. And he was a Spanish guy. Real cute. He was like from LA, just came to Vancouver, you know, and he'd been here for a while, like visiting his parents or something like that. He seemed like a really cool guy. So, you know, we hung out a couple times and like it was really good, like, you know, we had fun. And then one day he was like, oh, I want to take you to lunch. And I was like, okay, like, you know, what time? Like, when and where? Like, I'll be ready. And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, can you bring your computer with you? Like, I'm planning on moving, so I don't have a computer. I just need some help. My dumb ass was not thinking. So I was like, okay, I'll bring my computer. So I have my, you know, my Dickies backpack, everything. And so I go and I meet him at the SkyTrain station. And, you know, I'm calling and I'm texting and I'm like, hey, like, I've been sitting here a while. Like, where are you? And he's like, oh, sorry, I just got caught up with something. Like, I'm on the way. I'm going to come pick you up. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I'm sitting there. Time was flying by. It was like maybe I was sitting there probably like a good, I'd say probably hour and a half, like a fucking simp. So I was sitting there at Gateway. So finally I was like, okay, I'm done sitting here. I'm not sitting here anymore. I was like, you know what? I called him. I was like, listen, I'm not sitting here anymore. I've been waiting already. You asked me to come help you with this. Like, why am I still sitting here? So I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. He's like, no, don't leave. I'm coming. So I give him like another 30 minutes. He finally shows up after me waiting there maybe like 2 hours. And he shows up and I saw alcohol and I'm like, were you drinking? Like, you said that you were looking at cars, like, what were you doing? And he was like, yeah, you know, I just had a drink with the boys. I'm like, well, you couldn't have said that to me? Like, if you couldn't make it, like, we could have just rescheduled, you know? But he was like, no, it's okay. So I'm like, alright, whatever. I'm not thinking anything of it. So we're driving, and then he's like, oh, like, where do you want to go? And I was like, well, I thought you had everything picked out. He was like, that's okay, we'll go to Nando's. So I'm like, okay. So he goes to Nando's. He gets like 2 little plates. Whatever, I'm not complaining, at least he did it. And then he takes me to some weird, sketchy area in Surrey, and it's like an industrial parking lot, and I'm thinking, oh god, this guy's about to kill me. Like, what are we doing out here? Mind you, he reeks of alcohol. He's got these 2 little plates of Nando's, so it was like he really wasn't expecting to go anywhere or do anything. Like, he was already lit. Hey, he had his plans. Why he invited me out, I have no idea. So we're sitting there, and I'm like, this is like the date that you wanted to go on? You want to sit in an industrial park, eat Nando's? Like, I thought you had something more planned. So he was like, we're arguing about it. So he's like, you know what, I'm gonna take you to this little spot, like, don't worry, like, it's gonna be great, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna take you to this, like, little falls place, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So we pull up to a park, he's skirting around, we go through the bushes, then he's like, give me your backpack. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, give me your backpack. I'm like, they're not getting my computer. Like, that's not happening. And he's like, give it to me. So we're fighting, like, in the forest, like, throwing blows at each other, like, we're fighting. And I'm like, I get my backpack and I start running to the forest. And then some, like, white people see me and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I left him long gone in the forest. I'm gone. So I'm running because I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do now? Like, you know, I have my backpack, I have my phone. My phone's about to die. I'm running. And I'm like, who do I know that's in Surrey that can, like, help me? So I call my homegirl Jessica, like, Jessica, this guy's trying to rob me. Like, help me. So she's like, all right, don't worry, bet, I'm coming. Like, no questions asked. Like, no questions asked. She's just down like that. So I'm like, Jessica, please help me. So I am running. I'm ducking under the cars. He's coming in his car. He's driving up and down the road looking for me. And I'm like, oh, God, like, this guy's going to kill me. I'm like, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. So I'm running to the freaking school. I found this, like, little elementary school, and I'm hiding in one of the portable steps. And I call Jessica. I'm like, Jessica, where are you? Like, please, he's driving up and down. He's looking for me. Like, help me. Jessica's like, yo, I'm on the way. I can't remember how she got there, but she got there so fucking fast. She comes out, and she's like, all right. Like, she finds me. She tells the guy, she's like, tell him to meet you outside of the school. So I'm like, okay, like, what's gonna happen? She's like, don't worry. Just tell him to meet you there.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'm like, okay. So I call him and I'm like, hey, I'm outside the school, like, come meet me here, like, let's talk, you know? So he's like, all right. So he comes skirting around. You can hear his music blasting, like, you know he's coming. You know it's him. Jessica comes out of nowhere, maces the guy. He drives off. His car is skirting, like, down the streets. And I'm like, oh, God, thank you, Jessica, thank you. So, like, you know, we dap each other up, like, we're celebrating because we did it. So,
Fine nigga.
I can't remember what happened after that, but somehow I end up going back home. And I tell my mom what happened, like, crazy story. My mom's like, you need to call the police. And I'm like, no, I don't want to call the police. So we get home, and I call the police. I tell them, like, what happened. And the guy was like, the police officer, I can't remember his name, but he was such a nice guy. And he goes, how did you meet this guy? Like, what were you doing? And I'm like, well, I was trying online dating, and I didn't think that he was trying to rob me. And the cop is like, if you want to meet men, you should meet them the normal way. You should not try online dating and going by yourself. It's not safe. He's like, you seem like a nice girl. Don't do this again. I'm like, okay. After that, I deleted POF, and I never went on that shit again. Like, I don't suggest people online date in Vancouver or any part of the world. But it just goes to show men are crappy no matter where they come from. Mind you, he had been here a while. So that's just one of my many horror stories of dating in Vancouver. I'm thinking to do a whole segment actually on all my tragic experiences as a young woman of color dating in Vancouver, because I feel like people don't really hear our stories enough, because unless you look like the Vancouver specials, you're not getting nowhere. That's just how I see it. I have a lot of friends, you know, they're in relationships but they're not happy, or if they're single, there's just no options for them. So, I don't know, but I'm thinking to do more stories. So, please like, share, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. And if you enjoyed this segment or enjoyed my stories, I will be happy to bring you guys more. Yeah.
I'm out of here.